Now this week I've had something truly luxurious stashed in my pants, and no, I'm not talking about my pajazzle. It's this mighty fine motor blower, the Motorola Signature. Apparently, according to Motorola, luxury in smartphone form. And at £900, the Motorola Signature is going up against some meaty flagships. So is the gaming grunt, the battery life, the camera tech, etc. actually good enough to compete? And is this phone actually as luxurious as melting down a Ferrero Rocher and spreading it on toast? Well, I've had my Sims stuffed in there this past week, so here's my full Motorola Signature review. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe, ding that old notifications bell. Cheers! Now, the Motorola Signature is yet another whopping great 6.8-inch Titan, but it does sport a rather slender finish. In fact, it's a fleece fun bag under 7mm thick, so it's a mere 1mm thicker than the ridiculously thin Moto Edge 70. It only weighs 186 grams, so pretty lightweight, certainly for a flagship smartphone. And between that slim and light design, the slight curvature to the back end, the hand feels actually pretty good here, certainly for a 6.8-inch behemoth. And as you can see, there are pretty skinny bezels surrounding that screen, so not much added girth or anything either. It might appear to be all slim and dainty, but don't underestimate the Motorola Signature, because it's a proper tough bugger too. Got a bit of Victus 2 glass up front, you've got an aluminium frame, and then a twill-inspired finish around back apparently. And it's got a kind of denim-y vibe similar to the Poco F8 Ultra. And that rough texture doesn't just keep fingerprints at bay, it also adds a proper bit of grip, which is absolutely essential if you're struggling with this thing one-handed, especially as you can't really use the camera bump as a handy finger shelf, because it's not really a bump, it's more of a gentle mound. But aye, proper durable bugger. It's even passed a variety of military standard 810H tests. It's also IP68 and IP69 dust, water and spurt resistant, so it can be fully submerged in the drink, no worries. Thoroughly blasted with hot jets of water if that's what you're into. And as usual, Motorola has collabed with Pantone for the actual design of the Signature. So you can grab this bad boy in two different colours, either carbon, which is basically black, or this here martini olive effort. Oof, makes me really fancy a martini. Or just a glass of any booze really, to be honest, I'm not fussy. Unfortunately, I gotta say this is far from my favourite collaboration between Motorola and Pantone. Because you know, in the past we've had some really eye-popping pinks and purples and blues, whereas this sort of sludgy, browny, greeny colour looks less Pantone and more Pantaccident. And also, while I really like the rest of the Signature's design, it doesn't really stand out at all from the rest of its Edge siblings. In fact, it's pretty much identical, so it's lovely, but not quite luxury. Now, unlocking the bloody thing is absolutely dreamy thanks to the in-display ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is an absolute cracker. Super quick and responsive, even when your digits are absolutely dripping wet. And then, of course, you're into a good bit of Android 16, the latest, freshest version, as you would expect from a luxury smartphone, and a fairly stock Android sort of vibe. And until recently, Motorola smartphones generally enjoyed about as much support as a pensioner's knockers. But in that regard, Moto seems to have actually turned things around. So you've actually got 7 full years of guaranteed OS updates and security patching with the Motorola Signature to put it in line with the likes of Google and Samsung. And you also have the added luxury of not actually having to uninstall a whole bunch of crapware that Motorola's stuffed on here. It's just a couple of bits like Facebook and LinkedIn, which was shoved on here without permission, but they're easy enough to get rid of again. And thankfully, when it comes to storage, Motorola hasn't gone down the skinflint route of some of its rivals. You've actually got 512 gigs of the stuff crammed on here. And so even if you're shooting tons of video and installing whopping great buggers like Wuthering Waves, well, no worries, you shouldn't run out of space anytime soon. Now, as I say, it's the usual sort of stock Android vibe here on the Motorola Signature, which I'm certainly down for. They have shoved a few of their own Motorola apps on here. Basically, all of the standard bangers. You want to probably start with the Moto app, which allows you to quickly and easily customize your smartphone. You can add a theme, change up the wallpaper, the colors, the fingerprint animation even. Although with some of these options you're a bit more limited compared with some of the competition. And Motorola's excellent gesture support is back in action, including your uncle's favourite, fast flashlight baby. You've got Family Space, which is good, but also basically Motorola's version of Family Link, and so mostly superfluous. and likewise Moto Unplugged, which is basically their version of digital well-being. But Moto Secure, definitely worth checking out. It's got a couple of bonus tools like pin pad scramble, which is certainly worthwhile. Just jumbles up your pin pad every time, so it's not quite as obvious which numbers you're hitting. And Smart Connect's another good one as well, allowing you to instantly share your files, your apps, etc. with a TV, a tablet, PC, whatever. And if you bag yourself a Motorola Signature, Motorola is apparently offering you access to bespoke experiences via the Motorola Signature app. Unfortunately, I couldn't check these out because every time I tried signing up, I never actually received the 4-digit verification code. Sad face. I guess this is yet another club that really doesn't want your Uncle Spurt as a member. Actually, it's probably more the case that the Signature Club hasn't actually been properly set up just yet. At least that's what I'm going to keep telling myself. Oh, and I know this might come as somewhat of a shock, but the Motorola Signature absolutely packed to the tits with AI shenanigans. Now, you don't just get one AI assistant on the Signature, oh lord no, there's an absolute cartel of them buggers stuffed on here, like some Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity, and as is very much the fashion these days, you've got yourself a dedicated AI button slapped away here on the left edge, which thankfully I never accidentally pushed when I didn't mean to. And this is context sensitive, so if you just push it when you're just on your desktop or whatever, you just bring up the main AI options like asking Copilot vision, create new wallpaper, etc, etc. If you happen to push it in when you're in an app like browsing a web page, for instance, you'll then, as you can see there, get more context sensitive options. I've certainly found that remember this is the more useful of the Moto AI tools. As you can see here, we can create a memory based on the web page we were browsing. This then saves a screenshot and also rips out any valuable information. And all those memories are stashed away in the Moto AI apps. You can recall them at any point. You can also search for them and upload them to Google Drive. And sadly not quite as fully featured or easy to use as the likes of Mindspace on the Oppo and OnePlus smartphones, but it's pretty decent if you just want to store away a lot of information quickly and easily. You've got quite a few other tools as well, including Pay Attention, which is essentially just a smart recorder. And this attempts to transcribe everything that's been said in real time and also differentiate between any different speakers, which would be quite handy if you're in a meeting or something. Unfortunately, I've found in personal experience, unless people are speaking loudly, clearly and slowly, then this feature does quite often struggle to keep up with what's being said and also differentiate between the different people, even if they've got very different voices. Now you've got a few other bits as well, including the Playlist Studio, which can slap together a bespoke playlist to match your mood. Unfortunately, at the moment, it still only supports Amazon Music, and therefore it's about as useful as a car made of jam. Now, unfortunately, Moto AI can be quite slow at times as well. Like sometimes you'll push that button and you're just waiting and waiting for it to eventually pop up with all the different options. But anyway, plenty of potential certainly, but some of these features do still need a proper bit of spit and polish. In some cases, a couple of buckets of spit probably. Now you got all the other features you'd expect from a more premium device crammed on here as well, including a good bit of eSIM support on top of the physical SIM support. Now, bugger all complaints when it comes to the 6.8-inch Extreme AMOLED display that Motorola has slapped on the front end of the Signature. As you'd kind of hope from a near 1,000 quid blower, it's an absolute smasher. Got a 2780 by 1264 pixel resolution, so while it's not the crispiest smartphone screen out there, certainly plenty of fine detail packed into your photos and every frame when you are kicking back with a movie or a game or whatever. You've got all of the HDRs here, HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision, as well as a bit of dynamic video enhancement when you are playing back some video. Just help brighten things up and make the colours a wee bit poppier. It's a seriously bright screen as well, so no problems with outdoor visibility. Although admittedly I haven't exactly been testing this thing in super bright sunshine as it's currently February in the bloody UK. And in regular use you've got up to 120Hz refresh support, but it also supports gaming up to 165Hz. There's bugger all mention of PWM dimming, but you do have a flicker prevention feature in those display settings. You've also got the likes of the night light as well, just to make for more comfortable evening viewing. As for the audio, well, you've got yourself a stereo speaker setup naturally with a wee bit of sound tweaking by Bose, no less, just like the Poco F8 Ultra. Though you don't get a swanky third speaker slapped on the arse end of the Signature like you did with that. This certainly does the job if you're just kicking back with a movie or whatever. You got a surprising amount of bass out of it. Could probably do with being a wee bit louder, certainly if you're trying to listen to something in quite a noisy environment. That would be my only real complaint, but even playing music through this thing sounds surprisingly not too shit. Got full support for Dolby Atmos, high-res audio, yada yada yada, all the usual codecs. You've got Bluetooth 6 support on here as well. Found that was flawless streaming to a pair of earbuds which I've been using, which I can't actually tell you what they are because they're still under embargo, and also just various other headphones and speakers. Now, despite all of Motorola's big swaggery chat about the Signature being all ultra premium and luxury, it doesn't actually have the best possible chipsets stuffed in there providing performance. That's right, it's not the 8 Elite Gen 5 running the show here, it's just the regular Snapdragon 8 Gen 5. But before you scuttle off to write angry emails to Motorola calling them bottom slurping snot flickers, hang on, don't worry. Yes, Moto AI may be a wee bit slow, and the camera processing can also be a little bit lethargic at times with noticeable pauses when shooting portraits, etc. But otherwise, the everyday performance is beautifully smooth, apps load up nice and quick, you can multitask with the best of them, and gamers should certainly be more than satisfied as well. So for instance, even the most intensive, poorly optimized titles like Wuthering Waves still played beautifully on this thing. I maxed out all of those graphical settings just to really test out the Motorola Signature, and the frame rate reliably stuck to around 60 frames per second, occasional dips into those high 50s, but only on extremely rare occasions did I actually notice a stumble in that frame rate where the action visibly slowed. For the vast majority of my hours of gameplay, Motorola Signature handled it perfectly. And good news if you're proper addicted to the likes of Wuthering Waves as well, because you've got a decent dedicated cooling system stuffed in here, including a whopping great vapor chamber, bit of copper mesh action, and even after a good couple of hours of Wuthering Waves playtime, the Signature only gets ever so slightly warm. Oh, and Motorola's usual rather nifty gaming mode is back in action as well, with a variety of useful tools, including the ability to record all of your mad skills. Or in my case, just the bits where you manage to flukily look pretty good just by mashing the buttons. Now, you've got yourself a 5200 mAh silicon carbon battery crammed inside the skinny chassis of the Motorola Signature. That's slightly bigger than the battery that they managed to ram into that ultra slim Moto Edge 70. And yes, this is considerably smaller than what you'll get in some rival flagships, the likes of the OnePlus 15 and the Oppo Find X9 series with their 7000 mAh plus batteries. But hey, I got bugger all complaints when it comes to the battery life here. On the user scale, I'm certainly at the more demanding end, that's for sure. And even on the longest, most intensive days, I found that I still stumbled to bed, got all tucked up with Teddy, and still had about 25% battery life remaining. And that would be with, a fair bit of camera play, probably a bit of video chat action, at least a good sort of 20-30 minutes on Wuthering Waves just to do all the daily shenanigans. Plenty of Spotify streaming, I'm talking literally hours in the background, etc, etc. And on less demanding days, where I was mostly just messaging, browsing the web, stuff like that, I'd easily finish the day with around 50% charge remaining. So if you don't go nuts on this thing, it should last you a weekend. That said, the Motorola Signature doesn't cope quite as well as some rivals when it comes to non-stop gaming. It's like some Wuthering Waves, you'll get around 3.5 hours of playback on those higher graphics settings from a full charge before this thing is fully drained. But hey, good news if you are running low on juice, you need to top it up in a jiffy, because you've got 90 watt wired charging support, you've also got 50 watt wireless charging support, so you've got a pad that can handle it. So hey, let's finish off this lovely wee Motorola Signature review, a bit of a squint at that camera tech. And the primary shooter on the back end of the Signature is actually a 50 meg Lytia 828 sensor. It's the first time I've tested it in any smartphone. I think it's the first time it's been stuffed into any smartphone, and it's a 1/1.28 inch sensor, so pretty big as far as smartphone camera sensors go. The app's pretty easy to get on with, and as usual you've got a choice between the natural mode, otherwise you can also swap to signature style. And this basically just allows you to tweak the colours in your photos based on some of your favourite pics to get a specific kind of vibe. But when I was testing out the Motorola Signature's camera tech, I of course stuck with natural just to see what it was capable of. get an idea of how it handled real life, and as promised, this thing does cough up mostly realistic looking photos. Scenes aren't artificially brightened as you'll find with iPhones and the like. Instead, you'll often enjoy some really nice contrast with proper shadows. Although yes, I did see some saturation when the HDR situation was a little bit full on. The tones are usually pretty close to what you'll see with the naked eye. Blue skies really shine when you actually see them here in Blighty. And likewise, low light snaps are an absolute breeze for the Signature thanks to its sizable sensor. We're talking plenty of detail, not much noise, and pretty bold colours. And if you can keep your hands still for a couple of seconds, you'll get pleasingly bright night snaps too. And the Signature can also spaff out some cracking portrait shots, complete with a lovely natural-ish bokeh effect. Even fluffier subjects aren't excessively smoothed out. But however, as with most other phones, if the lighting isn't great, you will see some blur if your subject can't keep still. And that is despite the inclusion of a dedicated action mode, which works well in daytime, but in low light, not so good. Now, you've also got yourself a 50 megapixel telephoto shooter slapped on here using another Lytia sensor, the 600 this time, and that offers a 3 times optical zoom. And this is certainly handy for getting up close shots of your kids and pets, and again it copes well across a range of conditions. You can actually zoom in up to 100 times in total, with some quite obvious AI sharpening shenanigans once you start properly punching in. And this does have mixed results. Occasionally your photo will look more like a watercolour painting or something, and humans are, as usual, a bit of a stumbling block. But you know, it's no worse than what I've seen on other flagships. And then last up, you've also got yourself a 50 megapixel ultra wide angle shooter. And hey, this is absolutely fine, just don't expect similar results to what you'll get with the other 2 shooters on here. It'll do the job if you need that more dramatic viewpoint. And when it comes to the video, well, certainly the Motorola Signature has all of those premium features you'd expect from a flagship. You can shoot up to 8K resolution footage at 30 frames per second, otherwise 4K resolution at 30 or 60 frames per second. You've got a good bit of Dolby Vision action as well. And for any slow motion shenanigans, you also have support for up to 120 frames per second 4K resolution shooting. And while the Signature can't touch the biggest and best for video recording, it certainly does the job for a bit of vlogging on the go. Got decent stability, clear audio pickup, it's fairly respectable stuff. And last up, around the front end of the Motorola Signature, you've got yourself a 50 megapixel selfie shooter with autofocus support. And using that selfie cam, you can record up to 4K Ultra HD resolution video at 30 or 60 frames per second. So reasonably crispy visuals. The stabilization's still pretty good at this 4K 60 FPS level. And the mics again do a bang up job of picking up on your voice, even if you stray a wee distance away from the phone. So perfect for a bit of vlogging, bit of video chatting. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a tasty wee nutshell is my Motorola Signature review. And the lingering question is it actually luxurious? And my response would have to be, no, not really. Is it a proper good blower that I'd happily have stashed in my pants every day of the week? Yeah, certainly is. I love the stock Android vibe and some of Moto's additions. The tech feels certainly premium enough for a flagship smartphone, from that gorgeous OLED display, the decent, reasonably beefy stereo speakers, and that pretty damn dependable camera tech. As well, the gaming performance is excellent, the battery life is more than good enough for my needs, and I'm a proper demanding prick too. Just a few wee quirks like Moto AI, which still ain't quite there, and it's a shame about the pooey Pantone colour. Anyway, that's what this weathered old YouTube tech twat reckons. Be great to hear your thoughts on the Motorola Signature down in the comments below. And while you're down there, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. I'm off to give my pajazzle a serious shining. Have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everybody, love you!